Hi everyone, welcome to the first session on the Aspiring Performance Programme's lockdown series. So today we're going to do a circuit session. So prior to the session you should be adequately fueled. So you should have had your nutrition in prior to the session, as well as being fully hydrated. So for today, what you need is you need a water bottle so you can remain hydrated throughout, and then just some space just for yourself to work out in. So prior to the session, we'll just need to get our warm-up in. So as we go through the warm-up, we want to make sure that we're raising our heart rate and our body temperature. We want to activate the muscles we're going to use during the session, mobilise the joints, and then we're going to potentiate the muscles as well, okay? So if you just follow along with me in this warm-up, we'll get started. So what we're going to do for our warm-up is a mobility circuit, because then with it being in a circuit fashion, that means we get to raise the temperature and the heart rate at the same time. Okay? So the first exercise we're going to do is our roll to V's. So what you're going to do, you're going to tuck your knees into your chest, roll onto your back, and then you're going to reach out, legs in a V shape, reach into the middle, okay? So we're going to do 10 reps of those. Okay, once we've done 10 of those, you should feel the stretch in your hamstrings there. We're going to go into an exercise called the crucifix. So what we're going to do here, you're going to lie flat on your back, arms out to the side, and then you're just going to cross your leg up and over to the opposite side. You should just feel it on the lower back there, okay? So again, we're going to go 10 reps, 5 each side. Okay, so now we're going to go on to an exercise called the Spider-Man lunge, okay? So what we're going to do here, you're going to go into your press-up position, and then you're going to bring your foot up to your hand at the same side, drop the hips down, keep the chest and shoulders up, back into press-up position, other side, okay? So just bring your foot up as far as you can towards your hand, don't worry if you can't get all the way up. If you only get to here, that's fine, you're just going with the range of motion that you've got, okay? So 5 each side. Okay, so now we're going to go onto all fours and we're going to do an exercise called reach and rotate. So we're on our hands and our knees. What you're going to do is you'll take one hand, you're going to reach underneath as far as you can, and then you're going to rotate round, fold your hand the whole way, so you're always watching your hand as far as you can the other way, and then you're going to go back under. So we're going to do 5 each side. Okay, so what we've done there, we went through a little circuit, so you should feel that your temperatures went up as well as your heart rate. We've activated the muscles we're going to work to mobilise the joints, so now we just need to potentiate the muscles, okay? So what we're going to do that is we're just going to do some squat jumps. So we're going to do 2 sets of 5 squat jumps, okay? So squat down nice and low, jump up as high as you can, okay? Okay, so that's one set. And then we'll go one more. So we'll go 5 more reps. Okay, so that's the warm-up done, and we're ready to start the session. So the first exercise we're going to do in the circuit is an exercise called snap downs. So what snap downs do is they work on your force absorption, which is really important when you're playing rugby. If you think every time you take a step, your muscles and joints have to be prepared to take that force. So that's why we do snap downs, okay? So how do we do the snap down? We reach up as high as we can, and then we drop down into a squat position, okay? So reach up as high as we can, squat down, drop down into a squat position. So side on, up, down. Okay. The second exercise that we're going to do is called the zombie squat, okay? So what this is going to try and do is build some lower body strength. So you want to take your feet just outside shoulder width apart, and then I want your arms straight out in front like a zombie there. And what we're going to do, just drop down into a nice deep squat. Make sure your knees track your toes, okay? Then we're going to go back up from there. Okay, so side on, hands out straight, squat down nice and low, so your hip goes beneath your knee or in line with your knee, then back up from there. So exercise 3 is going to be our press up to try and build some upper body strength, okay? So what we're going to do, you're going to come down with your hands just underneath your shoulders, up onto your feet, and then from there, you're going to lower your chest towards the floor, keeping your elbows close to your body, okay? And then extending the elbows there again. So I want your elbows in close to the body, not out to the side. If you're thinking about throwing a hand off, you throw it from here, not from round the side, okay? So I'll show you that from the side. So you're up on the feet, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows in close to the body, back up, okay? If you want to make this a little bit easier, what we can do is you can stay on your knees, you still keep your elbows close to the body, but your knees are on the floor. If you want to make it a bit more difficult, we can try and reduce the stability, so you can go one leg up in the air, you can move with your hand position, okay? So just find the variation that works best for you. So the next exercise we're going to do, so this is exercise 4, is going to be our static lunge, so we're just trying to build some single leg strength. Everything we do in rugby is off a single leg. Every time you run, it's a single leg movement, okay? So you're going to stand, put your feet together, we're going to lunge out in front, so your knee doesn't go over your toe, this back knee just hovers above the ground, and then from there, you're going to push back to standing, then we'll go opposite leg, okay? So you reach out in front, knee doesn't go in front of the toe, this knee's just off the ground, push back to the middle. Okay? So this next exercise we're going to do is called Blackburns. So what we're doing with these is we're trying to build some stability around the shoulder. If we think about our shoulders in a rugby match, that's always what you're using for making tackles. So we want to have plenty of strength around these joints, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to lie flat onto the ground. You're going to extend your arms out in front of you. And then I want you to bend your elbows, bring your hands close to your body, and go in behind, okay? And then we're going to do that in reverse. So the keys for this one is I don't want you to touch the floor. Your hands have to hover above the floor the whole time, okay? So my hands never touch the floor. And just try to avoid as well, don't overarch your back, so try and keep your spine fairly neutral, okay? So this next exercise we're going to do is a split stance stiff leg deadlift, okay? So I'll show you this one side on. So what you're going to do, your working leg is in front, flat on the floor, your supported leg is in behind, just with your toes on the floor. I want you to get a slight bend in your knees, and then your knees are locked in that position. There's no more flexion after that. Lock it there, okay? And then from here, you're going to think about pushing your pockets, getting your pockets as far back behind you as you can. So if you're in your living room, your pockets, you want to touch the back wall, okay? So you're going to reach down, keep pushing back the hips. Reach down as far as you can, you feel the stretch on your hamstring, down the leg, and back up, okay? So this one, we're going to do 15 seconds on each leg. So the next exercise we're going to do is a burpee. So we're looking at trying to bring in some of that conditioning element. Think about making a tap ball, hitting the floor, having to get straight back up, okay? Ready to get back in the defensive line. So for the burpee, you're just going to lie flat on the floor. You're going to bring your feet up to your hands, stand up, jump up, okay? Okay? So the final exercise in the circuit is going to be working on our ability to brace. So what we're going to use for that is the plank, okay? So when you can get into your plank position, so your feet or your toes are on the floor, your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and then once we're extended, we want our hips to be in line with our shoulders as well, okay? So we're going to go up into that position there, and then you want to drop down so your hips are in line with your shoulders, okay? So we'll hold it there for 30 seconds, nice and stable. If you need to regress this a little bit, you can drop down onto your knees and hold that position there. So we're going to start the circuit now. So the first exercise we're going to do is our snap downs, okay? So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, let's go. That's time there, so we're going into zombie squats now, okay? So now we're going into our press ups. So next exercise is a static lunge. So as we do this, just make sure your knees aren't going over your toes. Push back to start position. That back leg doesn't touch the floor, just hovers above. So next one up is our Blackburn, so we're lying flat on the floor. Don't let the hands touch the ground. So the next one is our split stance RDL, so we're going 15 seconds each leg. Lock that knee in that bent position. And swap legs there. So now we're going to our burpee.
Exercise.
We're into our clock to finish. and keep those hips in line with the shoulders. Don't let the hips sag down or the bum get too high. Keep everything nice and stable. So that's the first circuit done. What I want you to do now is to go back and watch that 2 more times. So we're going to do 3 total circuits, okay? And then we'll get into the cool down. We're going to go through the cool down, okay? So we're just going to stretch off some muscles and just start that recovery process, okay? So the first one we're going to do is a calf stretch. So you're going down almost in that press up position. You're going to put one foot onto your other heel and then push the standing leg heel towards the ground. What we're going to do with this, we're going to go for 10 deep breaths just to try and bring that heart rate down, okay? You should feel that stretch up the calf. And we'll go to the other leg now. So again, 10 deep breaths. Help bring that heart rate back down. Keep it there. Once you've went through 10 deep breaths, we're going to work on our hamstrings, okay? So I just want you on one knee, you're going to bring the other leg out in front, extend it out, heel on the floor, toes up into the air, and then you're just going to reach down. Don't press onto your knee, just feel that stretch on the hamstring. Again, 10 deep breaths. So as we're going through this cool down, this can be when we use this opportunity to get some water on board. Start to rehydrate after the session. And go to the other leg. So we're going to go up onto our feet, we're going to stretch our quad, okay? So just stand on one leg, you're just going to pull your heel in towards your bum, push your hips through, legs together, okay? 10 deep breaths. If you need to, you can use your hand to help you balance, okay? And go to the other leg. So your thighs should be in line with each other. Push your hips through. Don't sag back, okay? 10 deep breaths. So now we're going to go through some upper body stretches, okay? So we're just going to stretch off the chest muscles. So just want you to reach onto a wall or you can do it on a door frame. Place your hands flat against there and just going to rotate your torso away. You should feel the stretch in your chest and your shoulder, okay? Again, 10 deep breaths. Okay, and we'll go to the other side. So hands flat against the wall. Rotate your hips. Feel the stretch in the chest and the top of the shoulder. And then the final one, just another stretch for our shoulders. So we need to go in front of a wall, almost into a quarter squat position, hands flat against the wall, and then you're just going to drop your head down towards the floor. Feel the stretch out the back of the shoulders there. 10 deep breaths. So that's session 1 done there, that's a circuit session, so we need to upload that onto your gym diary as normal and then put that into Moodle.